Welcome back to the Keon Ellis MyCareer in NBA 2K26. Today we have a matchup against the one, the only, Will Richards. So that's going to be very exciting. But first, before we get into that, please make sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. We are still trying to reach the 100 subscriber mark, so I want to get there as soon as possible. So if that's something you feel compelled to do, please press that big red subscribe button down below. Also, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos, future NBA updates, and future Keon Ellis MyCareer updates. But let's just get right into it. Of course, in the last matchup you saw, we took a L against the Oklahoma City Thunder, almost staged and a ridiculous 20-plus point comeback. But at the end of the day, in Keon's first game as a starter after Doug Christie named him the starter, he could not stop Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in any way imaginable. 42 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 5 steals, 17 of 30 from the field. On the other side, though, Keon gave him 14, 7, and 6 of his own with 7 turnovers, 5 for 15 shooting. Not the greatest output in his first game as a starter, but hopefully he gains a little bit more favor from the coaching staff as we move along. We did take a back-to-back loss in simulation against Josh Giddey and the Chicago Bulls, which Josh Giddey, as of right now, I believe the Bulls are still maybe the first seed in the Eastern Conference, and Giddey's playing like an all-star slash MVP caliber level, and he's doing so virtually as well. And then back-to-back wins against the Milwaukee Bucks and Denver Nuggets, which is absolutely ridiculous. 23, 16, and 14 for Nikola Jokic in this one, kind of a pedestrian stat line. But on the other end, Keon, 3 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, 4 steals, and now heading into this game against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Keon, let's see the actual counted stats for Keon. 10 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and a steal. 51, 46, 100 split. Still has yet to miss a free throw. We are going to try to keep this production up and maybe even top it a little bit more against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors at home in the Golden One Center. A rematch of the 2023 playoff series in the first round, but let's hope we don't see a replay of Game 7. Here we are in the Golden One Center, Steph Curry warming up against his trainer, and we have a fantastic matchup in store. The Sacramento Kings hosting the Golden State Warriors at 5-3. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Keon can stop one of, if not the greatest point guard to ever lace him up. Let's see. Steph off of winning the tip. Oh my goodness, already has me jumping for no reason. Steph running off ball. Gonna have to stay attached at the hip with Steph Curry all night. Domantas Sabonis is gonna have to do the same with Trace Jackson Davis. Don't really know what happened there. But our first offensive possession in this one. And we're gonna hope that Steph is someone that's somewhat easy to attack as Zach LaVine gets going to the basket. We're gonna cut back door. Steph has no idea where Keon just went. He just looked over his shoulder a couple of times, like just a breeze right past Steph, cutting back door. And Keon, the easy finish, and the stats are there now. I always forget to do that in the beginning of games. Trace Jackson Davis operating at the top of the key, or the left wing. What am I saying? Keegan Murray, why are you reaching? Off the inbound, Steph running off a couple screens. Now running back up towards the left wing. And Jimmy Butler trying to hawk down Keegan Murray. Endless dribble moves from Jimmy Butler. Keon left Steph wide open, and that's what happened. Don't know why I fell for that. Um, but we learn upon our mistakes, and we just try every day to improve, and that's what I'm gonna tell myself. Get this ball out of my hands. We'll give it to Zach LaVine. And now right back. Keegan, we're gonna go with this pick and fade. Jimmy stays in the paint. Keegan Murray knocks down the triple. 2 points and an assist. Keon responsible for all 5 of the Sacramento Kings points here. And we're knotted at 5 with 10:21 left in the first quarter. Back to Steph. Don't know why I'm giving him that much space. Screen coming. Keon fights over it, but Domantas Sabonis just gives Trace another wide open lane to the basket. And I don't know why this doesn't happen more often, but no one helps in this game. It's just an open runway for TJD going towards the rim. And that one was defended perfectly. A turnover for Keon because no one wants to get open. And Brandon Pajemski, an open layup on the other end. That was a huge problem for us against Shea and the OKC Thunder, was turnovers. We probably could have completed that massive comeback. And if you haven't checked that out, please do so. You won't regret it. But we're going to do an inverted screen here with Domantas. Oh, I really thought Steph was going to just leave me wide open, but it was not to be. Keon just doesn't know what he's doing. And it's another turnover. Moses Moody out and running. We're off to a bad start. 11-5 with 9 minutes to go. Oh boy. Keon trying to get past Steph. Now we're going to give Keegan Murray a screen. Nothing there. Keon trying to cut backdoor once more. Now out to the three-point line. Keon lines it up, and it's off. Rebound TJD. Trying to have somewhat of an impact in this game, if possible. Now, one-on-one against Steph Curry on the left wing, but he gives it up and got off easy. Don't know what I'm saying, but Trayce Jackson-Davis is the MVP of the NBA in 25-26, apparently. 13-5 early on Golden State because Domantas Sabonis just cannot hang with Trayce Jackson-Davis. We're going to go the other way on the screen, throw it to Domantas, and he gets his get back somewhat. Makes it a 6-point ball game with a little over 8 minutes left in this first quarter. Now here goes Steph. You never know when he can pull up just in an instant. We're going to switch here, though, on Jimmy Butler, but that leaves Steph wide open. Sabonis comes over with the help. Keegan Murray now against Jimmy Butler in the paint, forces the miss, and we are out and running. LaVine to Keon, going towards the basket, and he misses? The meter just disappeared. Don't know what happened there. But, like, how? How does that happen? Now, Moses Moody, wide open for three. Doesn't go. Got lucky there. Up ahead to Keon, now to Keegan, and he just gives it right back. Didn't call for that. But we're going to give Keegan another try. Keegan Murray for three. Knocks down another one. Not to be. Psych, as they would say. Keon right there against Jimmy Butler. Forces him to pick up the dribble and forces him to miss the shot. Great defensive possession there from Keon. But now Jimmy switched onto him on the other end. Keon, though, doesn't get anything going. Gives a screen to Keegan Murray. Keon can't cut backdoor. Steph reads it. Podziemski to a cutting Steph Curry. Gambled on the pass, and Steph just cut right in. Finished with the layup. We're down by 8. This is not looking good. And they got Dennis Schroeder coming in. Seems as though the trust in Keon has been lost. DeMar DeRozan, though, with a wide open midi. You gotta love getting him that shot in that position. Need to do that more often. You really never know where Steph is going to go. I love guarding him in this game, though, because it really gives you some insight on how the actual players must feel having to run around and try and contain him, because he's most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball. And there's an example. Man, Steph on Hall of Fame, absolutely ridiculous. Timeout Sacramento Kings. Keon might be getting a seat on the bench now. 10 minutes, 38 seconds left in the second quarters when Keon re-enters the ball game. Got Gary Payton jumping. He's still stuck with us somehow. I don't know how that happens. You throw a pump fake, get a guy in the air, and he still hangs with you. But Keon drawing a foul, getting to the line to knock down some free throws. Still has yet to miss a free throw on the season, and we're going to keep that streak going here. Keon 2 for 2 at the line, 4-3-1 with 10.5 left in the second quarter. A 4-point game now, and Steph not in the game at the moment. We can rest somewhat. Jimmy Butler, the fadeaway. Doesn't go down. Sabonis the board. Kicked up to Keon. Could have tried to take on GP2, but it's just not a good matchup. Malik Monk discards Jonathan Kuminga, but could not get it to fall. What a ridiculous move. Now Gary Payton attacking the other end. Jimmy Butler forced a miss from Neek Clifford. Oh my goodness. Now we need someone to cut to the basket. It's going to be Neek Clifford. Can't do it on the other end. Going to set our biggest competition. Dennis Schroeder a screen. He just steps behind it and knocks down the three. A 1-point game. Buddy Hield, maybe we can't rest because one of the other greatest three-point shooters in league history from a counted stats perspective is in this game, and Buddy Hield. Jimmy Butler's trying to get it going in the post, but Jonathan Kuminga cleans it up. That's embarrassing for Domantas Sabonis. You lead the league in rebounding 3 years in a row, and then you give that up to Jonathan Kuminga. Dennis Schroeder spinning his way towards the mid-range. Can't hit the jumper, though. Kuminga the board. Now, oh my goodness, Jimmy Butler spins past Keon, but he forces the miss. Keon Ellis. Amazing defense in this first half. Now he's attacking Jimmy. Kicks to the corner. Oh no! I meant to throw that to Dennis Schroeder wide open in the corner. I got to I got to just utilize icon passing a little bit more. Trying to feed Kuminga in the paint. And that's the easiest look he's going to get on the night. Back to a 5-point game. Throwing a little jab step at GP2, but he's not going for it in any stretch of the imagination. We're going to set a screen, though, for Dennis Schroeder. Pulls up, and it's in and out. Jimmy Butler's still cold coming down the other end. GP2 cuts back door. We're kind of there. Still trying to keep up somewhat. Buddy Hield, an in and out on Malik Monk. Back out to Jimmy. 5 on the shot clock. Jimmy Butler sizing up Dennis Schroeder. Pulls up for 3. No good. Keon another board. 4-3-3 early in this contest. Keon running the length of the floor. Had Draymond Green on him. Gets him to jump. And somehow he sticks with Keon. How does that happen multiple times? Keon wide open. Dennis Schroeder feeds him, and Keon knocks down a three, a rare one, kind of, while we're playing these games. It feels like it's been harder to shoot jumpers for me this year, but we knocked down the open three. 35-33 is the score, 7:31 left in the second quarter. Keon with 7 points. We're building to something. Steph Curry re-enters the contest, matched up against Keon. Comes back door, now back to the top of the key. Now it's another screen from Draymond, and Steph open somewhat towards the basket, but that looked blocked by Keon. I didn't even jump for it, just put the hands up. But doesn't matter. TJD, MVP for the Warriors, here to save the day. Make it a 4-point game once again. Getting Steph caught on the screen. Now Sabonis fouled by TJD. He'll be headed to the line. Sabonis knocks down the pair, back to a 2-point game. And we're really, really going to have to contain Steph. He kind of lit us up in the first quarter, but we are always going to try and make a better effort. And again, learn upon our mistakes, or improve upon our mistakes. I was just not saying that right at all. Hands up constantly on Steph, but you know what? Okay. Trace Jackson Davis with 10 and 5 in 11 minutes. He has not missed a shot. Steph has 11 on 5 of 7 shooting. What are we going to do? We don't need to worry about Steph. We need to worry about Trace Jackson Davis. Of course, that should have been on the scouting report. Since the Warriors don't have since they don't have Kevon Looney to terrorize Domantas Sabonis anymore, now it's just TJD stepping up in that role. Keon to the top of the key. Now Dario Saric in the game, who has been kind of a hero for us in some instances. He is checked in. Now Dario over to Malik Monk. Desperation shot over Pods. Does not drop. TJD another board. Dario Saric picks off the pass. Now Keon inside to Sabonis, gets TJD in the air, doesn't take advantage, and the play is just completely destroyed. Running another pick and pop with Dario Saric, but nothing is to be. Shot clock running down again. Malik Monk, another desperation shot over Pods, doesn't fall, and the offense is looking stagnant. Matched up with Jimmy Butler, and we just took it straight from him. Keon Ellis finishing at the other end, 9-3-3 in the first half now, picked Jimmy Butler's pocket and took it all the way. Keon proving his two-way worth here as the starter in just his second game that we're doing gameplay for as a Sacramento King. Or not as a Sacramento King, you know what I mean, in the series. Brandon Pajemski knocks down the three, and we're back right here to where we started. Sabonis cutting towards the rim. The finish over TJD is absolutely demolished. Domantas, we gotta pick it up. Getting the switch on Steph once again. Kind of boxing him up. I think we're doing great. Oh, the shot's coming here. No, it's not, but it's over to Jimmy for a desperation shot over Sabonis. Doesn't get it to fall. Keon another board, and we are on the move. Looking to attack off the miss. Maybe let's get Zach LaVine involved. We know what he can do when he's got a hot hand. And there it goes. And one for Zach LaVine over Steph. Just as I said it, we need to get him going in this offense. He is a huge part of it in real life, averaging, for the first stretch of the season, close to 30 points a game on 50, 40, 90. Makes it a 3-point game, hopefully a 2-point game after the free throw. Good stuff from Keon and the guys against the Golden State Warriors. LaVine calmly knocks down the free throw, back to a 2-point game. Keon doing some work, keeping the Kings in this and trying to shut down Steph Curry as much as possible. You can never stop him, only hope to contain him, but we're doing a decent job of that so far in the first half. Moses Moody can't get it to fall. We're out and running once again. Steph Curry, the only man to beat. Keon spinning in the lane, finish over Pods and Steph, up to double figures now for Keon. Tie game at 42 with 4 minutes left in the first half. We're rolling right now. Forcing the pass from Steph. Will he get it back? It remains to be seen. Will Trace Jackson Davis miss a shot? That remains to be seen as well, but I don't think so. Seriously, though, we're going to have to do something about Trace Jackson Davis. Oh, Drew Eubanks cutting to the rim, wide open. That time, TJD got a taste of his own medicine, lost his matchup. Drew Eubanks, an easy slam. Pod, screen from TJD. It's like, what can you do? What can you do when no one else on the team? Because then I'm going to have to be the one having to rotate over and leaving Steph wide open, and then they're just going to hit him for a wide open three. And I don't want that to happen. Drew Eubanks coming down, and TJD is the greatest player of all time, getting it done on both ends against Drew Eubanks. It's TJD, he has so many great qualities, so many unstoppable qualities, but one of them is not screen setting, apparently. That's turnover Kings ball. You know what? We'll run this play for DeMar. Why not? Let's see if the young... Oh, wait a minute. Is this for Malik Monk? Or no, I guess not. Trying to put moves on Steph doesn't work. Giving it to DeMar DeRozan, a little grenade with 5 remaining on the shot clock. Still gets the shot up over Jonathan Kuminga and makes it drop. 46 all, approaching the 2-minute mark in the first half. We got a good one here in Sacramento. Steph coming off the Draymond DHO. Built up kind of a wall there from DeRozan, but Steph gets it to Kuminga, and that's a wide open three. Tries to help me just a little bit. I really could let a three go here. And I will. And the meter just disappeared, and Keon comes up short. Moses Moody, the lob to Kuminga, the 2021 draft classmates, lottery pick mates, if you could say, connecting on the lob to make it a 5-point game. And it was close. It was basically a 1-possession game that whole time, but now we broke out of it thanks to Kuminga and Moses Moody. Now, DeMar DeRozan trying to get those 2 points back, can't do it. Outlet to Steph, and he's looking to push the pace. Behind the back from right to left, Steph gives it up to Pods, though. Of course, he's most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball, and Malik Monk is the most dangerous when he does. Comes away with the steal, throws it to Keon in the corner. Not much doing here. Giving it to DeMar. Got the switch with Steph. No. We let him work. We let DeMar DeRozan work on that mismatch every single time. Attacking Pods, can't finish with the left. Maybe I'm just talking out of my behind. 43 seconds to go in this first half. Warriors trying to build on a 5-point lead, and they will. Draymond Green. These screen and rolls are just impossible to guard. Maybe we go for a 2-for-1 here. Just try and jack up a quick three. Oh, low key. What the? This menu came up. What just happened? Now the 2-for-1 possibility is essentially gone. Zach LaVine pulling up over Steph. Can't get it to fall, and the Warriors will get the last shot of the half if they're intelligent. And to try to make it potentially a double-digit game is Steph. Doesn't get that three to go. Early in the shot clock there. Now the Kings will get the last possession of the first half. In the hands of Keon. Gets the screen from Eubanks. It's a turnover, and that'll be the half. Pajemski from past half court doesn't get it to fall. Man, 7-point game. Really felt like we had it in control somewhat, but heading into the locker room, down 7 at halftime. Doug Christie's probably going to give Keon an earful for that last shot, or that last pass, I should say. But, it's fine. We move. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Golden One Center, where the Golden State Warriors hold a 7-point lead over the Sacramento Kings. The story of the game so far, Trayce Jackson Davis. How he's doing what he's doing, who knows? But rolling to the rim is his forte. I feel like the actual commentator, that just came up perfectly. I didn't even know they were mentioning him. But yeah, TJD having a heck of a game. Domantas Sabonis cannot stop him at all with his rolls to the basket. Don't believe he's missed a shot, or that he missed a shot in the first half. Now Sabonis giving Keon a screen. Sabonis gets rejected by TJD. Don't know what I was doing there. Maybe the one thing that Keon should look to develop here is a consistent mid-range shot, because I'm going to need kind of a pull-up game after those screens, because it's either, I get to the basket, or I'm looking for the guy to sink under the screen so I can hit a three. Got to take advantage of the mid-range game a little more, and TJD cannot be stopped. The story of the night, 16 points, has not missed a shot. It's now a 9-point game. Domantas, get it together. Giving it up to DeRozan, who gives it back to Keon, who misses the three. Got the switch with TJD, gave him some space, but Keon can't connect. And now Keon is matched up with Trayce still. We'll see if Keon, maybe he's the only hope to stop Trayce. But no, now it's a reversed play, an inverted screen. Steph Curry gets the layup. Man, this Warriors team just systematically breaking us down with cunning wit, as Steph doesn't get caught on that screen at all. And I pressed the wrong button. It's a turnover. The wheels are coming off here to start the second half. The third quarter Warriors are here. Now Steph, a wide open three off the screen, in and out, got lucky. And a great outlet from Domantas Sabonis. Why did Keon stop? Who knows? But it ends in a Zach LaVine layup regardless. I don't know why. Keon just stopped for a jumper there. If that pass went through and Trayce Jackson Davis got a wide open dunk after the score, I would have been pissed. The meter just disappeared. Maybe I just shouldn't be shooting with Keon at all. Here goes Steph. Spin move on Keon. Behind the back, almost intercepted, but Trayce, he is human. Trayce Jackson Davis has come back down to earth. He has missed his first shot, and it's a turnover. Moses Moody, aggressive, driving down the other end. And it's a double-digit game, 59-48. Kings got to get it together. Let's run a different play other than a regular pick and roll. Nope, it's just immediately nullified. And I don't know what's happening here. Keon all the way to the rim, can't finish. Sabonis flashing off the rebounding prowess out to Keon. I should delete the game. Still down by 11, 9:15 to go. Moses Moody hit with an illegal screen. That's Keon drawing that foul, trying to breathe some life into this team to start this third quarter. It has not looked good so far, and it's not even Steph really doing the damage. It is solely Trace Jackson Davis on both ends of the floor, just like we all expected. Trying to get Steph with a cheeky little cut right here, and we do. It's easier to do that, but 13 points for Keon on the night with 4 rebounds, 5 assists, brings it back to single digits. Oh, gambled on that pass with Steph, and he hits the mid-range jumper. Just can't do that against a talent of this caliber. Man, man. We gotta get our head in the game like we're in High School Musical. Giving it up to DeMar, now to Keegan Murray. And Zach LaVine, top of the key, working on Brandon Pajemski. Takes the screen from Sabonis, gets it to him. Sabonis an easy finish over TJD as the shot clock expires to get it back to a 9-point game. We're shooting 44% from the field, but we're still in this game. It is certainly not over. Trying not to get caught on these screens here. Steph, a little half spin. Now gets back to his right hand. Keon, the energy is just being expended at an all-time high trying to guard Steph. And I was right there, step for step. Did not matter. Steph has 17. Pretty great one-on-one battle though between Keon and Steph going on. As Keon, okay, we're just gonna disregard that. Moody all the way to the rim, finishes again. 13-point game. Keon, 13 points on 13 shots so far. Maybe got to limit those kinds of wild attempts from 3. Steph gets caught on the screen though, and nothing happens out of it. Keegan Murray getting all the way to the rim, demolished by Trace Jackson Davis. That's his 4th foul. Maybe that's the only way to stop this Warriors team. Get TJD out of the game. And just like I predicted, Trace clocks out of this one with 7:26 left in the third quarter with 4 fouls. That's actually going to be a pretty huge storyline, I guess, because he's been dominating so far. Why is Keon's energy so low? Like, you would figure a guy who is as great as he is on both ends, he would have a little bit higher of stamina, but I don't know. That's just something I've noticed playing these games, is that the stamina is always super low for no reason. As Draymond Green just completely pushes Domantas Sabonis out of the way and comes in for that interception. Now we're matched on Draymond Green, and he's going to try and take advantage of that matchup now. But we're top block. That's not the terminology. Draymond backing down Keon, finishes with ease, and timeout Sacramento. Warriors have all the momentum in the third quarter. Keon's still in though after the timeout. A 13-point game. Man, I tell you what, Hall of Fame difficulty is not for the weak. Because when it's not Steph going crazy on you, it's Trace Jackson Davis just getting the easiest rolls to the basket that he's ever received in his life. Keon cutting back door though. Steph completely falling asleep at the wheel with Keon, and he's up to 15 for the night. Steph, I didn't think that was as open as it was, but it was. Steph just continues to fall into the corner. Man, oh, Steph, or Keon, I should say, a good move on Steph in the semi-transition, but it is not to be. We need to upgrade Keon. We really do. Keegan Murray forces the miss, and Keon back out and running. Who's running with him? It's DeMar DeRozan who's going to be the beneficiary. Good play there from Keon. Keon, maybe a low-key triple-double watch, but that's not the main prerogative here. We are just trying to stop Stephen Curry from scoring the basketball, and it's harder than it sounds. And we just tried to take Steph's head off there, contesting that jumper. It's going to be 2 more points at the line for Steph. Keon checks out halfway through the third quarter about, and let's see when he comes back towards the end of the third. We're down by 15, but we have the ball. 46 seconds to go. Now matched up against Buddy Hield. Sabonis cutting towards the rim. Draymond just completely nullifies everything going on there. We give it to Malik Monk. Gary Payton just fights right over the screen. It's like I couldn't do anything. Keon cutting back door again. Buddy Hield oblivious. 17 points on the night for Keon. And again, that's easier to do, but you got to take those kinds of opportunities when they are handed to you. Now the Warriors, with a minuscule shot clock to game clock difference, will likely hold for the last shot of the quarter. Draymond in the paint. Now over to Buddy Hield. Keon just keeping the hands up. Buddy finishes somehow over the outstretched arms of Keon Ellis, and that's how the third quarter will end. 85-70. The Kings need to get it together, and it starts with Domantas Sabonis' interior defense. Maybe we gotta upgrade that somehow, maybe take over and make it his career. Keon in to start the fourth quarter, and maybe after the Thunder game, we can try and establish another pretty awesome comeback against one of the top teams in the West. But it won't happen that way. If Draymond takes advantage of the classic TJD role, maybe he'll have a move named after him, like how there's the Gortat screen, now there's the Trace Jackson Davis cut, I guess. I don't know. Keon couldn't get it to go over Gary Payton II, and I'm uninstalling the game. Jimmy Butler operating top of the key against Zach LaVine. Keon just lying in wait, just ready to spring the double. And Buddy Hield will get the three-pointer off. No good. Key on the board. We're out and running. Tried to cut back door again. It didn't work. Oh, we kind of had an open look for three, but not to be. We'll let Zach work. You know what? We'll give him a shot. Zach going to be forced into a tough one by Gary Payton II. Got great position on Buddy Hield, but he knocked it away somehow. GP2 handling top of the key. Gives it over to Buddy Hield. Now, how did I switch with Gary Payton II? Draymond, a wide open basket after the cut. Like, what are we supposed to do? Now, I want someone to set me a screen. We get it. Key on the open look. Can't get it to fall, man. Maybe I just stink really bad, or does it feel like shooting is still pretty hard, even when you're wide open? We're going to throw the lob. What? The highest lob ever thrown right there. The highest lob ever recorded. Drew Eubanks cutting to the rim, the classic TJD cut. A 17-point game now, 89-72. Not having high hopes for this one. Got to get stops, and we got to eliminate these easy rolls to the rim, but I know that's just par for the course with Hall of Fame difficulty. They just kind of give the CPU those easy looks. And there's Jimmy Butler firing a fadeaway three that goes down. A 20-point game. And Steph is at the scorer's table. Man, this is just going from bad to worse. Did not mean to call a LaVine isolation. You know, I do want to set an off-ball screen for Malik Monk, but nothing is happening. Keon thought he was going to get an open look somewhat, and not to be. GP2 is kind of dazed and confused on that screen, but we are obliterated by Draymond Green. Jimmy coming back down the other end, a hop, step, and a finish. No resistance whatsoever. It's a 22-point game. Keon, great screen. Oh my goodness. The faucet has been turned off for Keon Ellis as a starter, not making a good first impression with Doug Christie. Buddy Hield on the other end doesn't make his opportunity count. And now the Kings coming back down the other end. We had the angle there. If we just threw it over the head of Draymond, we had the angle. Maybe it was a little bit late. And GP2, it's like Keon's not even there. GP2 gets caught on the screen. We draw the foul on Draymond. Kings heading back out onto the floor. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Complete domination for the Golden State Warriors on Golden One Center turf. Keon, though, trying to take advantage of these opportunities at the line. Been taking a lot of shots in this game. Not many of them dropping, but at least the free throws do. 19, 6, and 6 for Keon. The box score looks great, but that field goal percentage surely not going to look the same. Steph stepping back, keeping the hands up. Gives it to Jimmy Butler on the post. A fadeaway over Keegan Murray. 43 of 76 the Warriors are shooting. Don't know the percentage of that off the top of my head, but it's good. Someone's open. It's never mind. No one's open. What is Keon even doing? Steph just turned into a brick wall, and I couldn't get past him at all. Buddy Hield the contested three. Doesn't go down. DeMar the Ward kicks it up to Keon. If someone were to cut right now, that'd be great. Demonis does, and it's another assist. Trying to take away some little victories here in this absolute rout by the Golden State Warriors. Keon's going to pull up for this three, and that's just another bad shot. It's a bonus rebound. Oh, Jimmy Butler just, every pass gets intercepted. And how is that not a steal? I have no idea. And there's Draymond on the TJD cut. This one's wraps. Absolute domination by the Golden State Warriors in this one. Steph Curry looked relatively human. Keon didn't do a terrible job. 27 points, 3 assists on the night. Jonathan Kuminga with 20 on 7 of 10. But the story of the game, Trace Jackson Davis, 16 and 11. 8 of 9 from the field in 19 minutes. Keon actually led the Kings in scoring, though. 8 of 24 from the field, 1 of 10 from 3. And whoever in the comments on the first episode told me to increase my 3-point rating, you got it. 9 turnovers for Keon. This Hall of Fame difficulty, though, it just, sometimes I just completely disregard the turnovers because it's like every pass I throw, regardless if a guy's standing right next to me and he looks to be wide open, it just gets intercepted. 19 and 15 for Domantas Sabonis, but I'm also disregarding that because TJD got his on the other end, and that just can't happen. Nothing really great going on here. Keon maybe needs an attribute boost, but Right now, he's not really deserving of it. 116 to 82 is your final score as the Golden State Warriors trounce the Sacramento Kings on their home floor. Already faced the Oklahoma City Thunder in a game now, but we might move on to face the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards in an NBA Cup game, or maybe Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns, because we do want to simulate a little bit more, kind of get through this season. Um, but yeah, just not really looking too great. Record down to 4-4, and Keon Ellis is trying to do what he can from a offensive perspective, but at a 76 overall, not really a great handle, not really much I could do in that department. I actually want to see the attributes for. See, he has an 86 three-pointer. I should be able to knock down these shots that are wide open, but it is just it's user fault for those kinds of things. 74 ball handle, 77 speed with ball, 64 pass accuracy, 58 interior defense, only 84 perimeter defense, but a 96 steal for Keon. The defensive stuff is low. The speed is really low at 81, 84 agility. These are things that we have to upgrade. I was thinking about maybe using some kind of like Synergy 2K or something like that, but I feel like it's so complicated. Like I don't really know how to download that thing or kind of get it to work. But yeah, that'll be it for this one. Hopefully, I'll see you around for the next one against either the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Phoenix Suns. If you stuck around to this point, let me know who you'd rather see Keon face in an NBA Cup game in the comments down below. But hopefully, you'll come back around for episode 4 of the Keon Ellis My Career series on NBA 2K26. See you in the next one.